So in this video, we're going to take a look at how to graph from the equation or from the formula for the sequence. So our first formula is y equals 3x minus 6. Now this is written in a different order than we saw yesterday, so if it helps you, go ahead and flip it around. Remember, you can add in any order. Just make sure that if you've got a subtraction, you make it a negative sign and it follows whatever it's sitting in front of. So it doesn't become 6 minus 3x, it's negative 6 plus 3x. You still can follow the steps and get it graphed from the black formula that I have as opposed to the blue one. Start value is the value that's not being multiplied by your x. So regardless of which order you're looking at it in, our start value is negative 6. And then the amount of change is what you are multiplying by the x. It's called a coefficient. Our amount of change is 3. Once we have that, we graph like we just saw in the last video. So our starting value goes on the y-axis, and my starting value this time is negative 6. So I'm going to go down 6 on the y-axis. And then my amount of change is 3. So I'm going to rise 3 from my starting value and run 1. And as I've mentioned, I like making lots of ordered pairs. Gives me a straighter line. Let's take a look at a couple more. Our next formula is exactly the same as the last one, so let's jump to the second one. We've got y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. So what is our starting value? If you need to flip it around, go ahead, but remember the starting value is what you are not multiplying by your x. So I'm not multiplying the 5 by the x, so that's my starting value. Next, determine the rate of change, or the amount of change. In this case, what are you multiplying by the x? Negative 1/2. And graph. So on our y-axis, I'm going to go up 5. That's my starting value. And now because my rate of change is a fraction, I can graph it as rise over run. Hopefully some of you remember that. So I'm going to rise negative 1, which means fall. And this time I'm going to run to the right 2. Fall 1, right 2. Fall 1, right 2, and so on, extending that pattern. You can also look at this as a 1 over negative 2. So we can rise 1 and run to the left 2. So I'm going to go back to my starting point and go up 1, left 2 to extend my pattern. And get my nice straight line. And here are your 2 U-try problems. Remember to come to class with these attempted so that you can check your work instead of wasting class time working on them, and then you get behind for the assignment.